Hello, this is Tim Hickson, and I was asked to do a quick screencast on how to take a lot of data like the data we got from our mid-year assessment reflections and get it in a format that'll be easy to copy into Skyward, but also this could be used for any of a number of applications. And we're going to use a mail merge with Microsoft Word. I know there are some add-ons in Google Docs that might allow you to do something like this, but Word is pretty powerful and can do a lot of neat things. So we'll use that, and it's really easy just to get it over in the Office. So what I'm going to do first is I've got all my data here, and I'm just going to hit Control A to select it all, and Control C to copy. And I'm going to paste it over into an Excel spreadsheet. The reason I'm going to do this is twofold. Number one, Word can't get the data out of a Google Sheets. And secondly, I can also save this offline and sort it the way I want it to. Okay, you'll see I've got period 1 and period 2 are already separated, but especially if you had students take it at a later time if they were absent, you might have your classes mixed up, and also you'll notice the students are mixed. But in order to make it easier, when we go to copy these into Skyward, we want them separated by period and then also alphabetically by last name. So while I've got all this selected, I'm going to first of all go up here to arrange data. If you hit the little arrow next, you can do a custom sort. And I'm going to first tell it, make sure it sees that I have headers on my data. And I'm going to then sort by the period. And then I'm going to add a level of sorting to it, and I'm going to sort it by last name. And then if you have some siblings or something, you might want to add another level and sort it by first name after that. And then when we go to do the mail merge, all of the things will be merged in the order you'll need them to put them into Skyward. So I'm going to hit OK, and you'll notice now my classes are all together and they're alphabetical by class. So what I need to do now is I want to save this as my data source. And you can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to save it onto my desktop. I'll just save it as Workbook 1 on the desktop. And then we're going to close this and open up our Word document, and then we'll get our merge going. Okay. Alright, so that's saved. Come over here to Word. And in a new document, we're going to go to Tools, and you can manually do it with some of these, but the easiest thing to do is just use the Mail Merge Manager, and it brings up this little menu over here. Okay, so it takes you through the steps very nicely. We're going to create a new form letter. And then we're going to select our recipient list. That's where you tell it what data you want to use. So we'll reference our spreadsheet as soon as this pops up. There we go. Okay, so we're going to get a list. Now it gives you the option to just make your data source right there. You can also get data from like your Outlook address book. We're just going to open a pre-existing data source here. It'll bring up a window, and we're going to find the one we just made, Workbook 1. Alright. And since we made it, we know we can trust it, so we'll hit OK. And then the next step is to insert placeholders. I'm going to keep this simple for the sake of our example here, but you can do a lot of different things with it. This is used for making form letters, like all the junk mail you get. We're going to tell it to use the entire worksheet. If our data was on a separate sheet of the spreadsheet, we could tell it to do that, or we could sell specific cell range, but we'll just use the entire thing. And it automatically sees those headers, and you just need to pick the ones that you need. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make it so they'll print out 2 records on each page. I know they'll fit at least 2 per sheet. This will save a little bit of paper, save a little bit of scrolling as well. So what I'm going to do, just so I know who it is, I'm going to put last name, and notice you just click and drag, and then make sure you put spaces. You know, I'll put comma, space, and then first name, and then hit enter. And this is the one that they wrote their comment in for Skyward. So I'm going to put that there, hit enter, and then I'm going to just put in a line so I can see clearly where one stops and the next one starts. And then if you look under more here, there's a next record option here. This is for when you want another record to start on the same sheet. Otherwise, it'll do every record on a new sheet. So I'll just hit enter, and then I can just copy and paste this down here. So this will at least give me 2 records. This will give me 2 records per sheet, and save me a little bit of scrolling. And the nice thing about this is that you can preview your results. Okay, so I'm going to click on this, and you'll see here's my first 2 students. I can hit the right arrow here. Now it scrolls through them one at a time, but you get a good idea to make sure your layout is good as well. Now, one thing you may want to do is you may want to merge all of one class to one document and all of another class to another, and you can do that in the options here. Filter your recipients, and you can tell it to filter based on the class period equal to 1, and I'll hit OK. Oh wait, what was there are no data records. It was period 1, so I'll do options, period, and then period 1. Okay, and now you'll notice when I preview, I get down to my last of my first period class, but it doesn't go on to the second period, and now I can merge it just as one class. Okay, now you can merge it to a printer if you were going to print this all. What you're going to want to do for the comments is going to be merged to a new document. Once you do that, then you could edit individual ones or add something to individual ones, and it won't affect the mail merge. Right now, if I typed in something and then I went, it's not just going to show up on the one student. Okay, if I type that in, it'll actually show up on every student. Okay, so if you tried to make one comment for one person, that's not going to work. So I'll remove that. Now I'll hit merge to a new document, and it says form letters. Here it is. I have 2 on each sheet. I could have probably put 3 or 4 on each sheet, but now it's very easy to just copy and paste. It's easy for me to read, a lot easier than it was in this spreadsheet, but it's also easy to copy and paste from here right to Skyward. So hopefully this is helpful, and have a good day.